June 6, 1944, 6:31 a.m. A 56-year-old man steps off a landing craft into the killing zone. He's carrying a cane. His heart is failing. He's also a brigadier general. And he's about to land in completely the wrong place. His next 5 words will save thousands of lives. Theodore Roosevelt Jr., son of the 26th president. How do you measure up to that? Ted tried. Army officer in World War I. Decorated, wounded, gassed, came home a hero. But by 1944 he was 56 years old. Ancient for a general. Arthritis in his knees. A failing heart. He walked with a cane and barely slept. Military doctors said he shouldn't be in combat. Generals don't land with the first wave anyway, they command from offshore. His son, Quentin Roosevelt II, was already landing at Omaha Beach. The Army didn't want both father and son dying on D-Day. Ted Roosevelt didn't care. He went to Major General Raymond Barton with a letter he'd written. "I need to land with the first wave at Utah Beach." Barton refused. "Ted, you have a heart condition. You can barely walk." Roosevelt placed the letter on the desk. "Sir, the troops know me. If they see me on that beach, they'll follow. And I'm the oldest son of the old man. I have to land with my boys." Barton read the letter slowly. "Finally, you can go. But Ted, don't die on me." Roosevelt smiled. "I'll do my best, sir." June 6, 6:30 a.m. The ramp drops. Roosevelt steps into waist-deep water. His cane sinks. He leaves it behind. Around him, 20-year-old wade through the surf. He's older than their fathers. But he moves forward, pistol drawn. Shells explode. Machine guns fire. Men fall. Roosevelt reaches the seawall. Looks around. Something is very wrong. The church steeple that should be inland, it's not there. The causeway exit 100 yards north, missing. Lieutenant Colonel Eugene Caffey runs up, maps in hand. "General, we're in the wrong place. Current pushed us 2,000 yards south." Let that sink in. The entire Utah Beach assault, months of planning, was built around specific landmarks, specific exits. Every unit knew exactly where to go. All of it now useless. They've landed in the wrong sector. Officers gather around Roosevelt, waiting. Some look panicked. The entire invasion hangs on what he says next. Roosevelt looks at the beach, then at the bluffs, then back at his officers. He smiles. "We'll start the war from right here." 5 words. That's all it took. Roosevelt didn't panic, didn't order re-embarkation, didn't try to move along the beach under fire. He improvised. "Get me those maps." They spread them on the sand. Under fire. Shells landing 50 yards away. Roosevelt traced his finger along the beach. "We're here. This exit leads to St. Marie-du-Mont. Different village, but it gets us inland. The causeway's lightly defended, bombardment hit it harder than our original sector." He looked up. Salt water dripping from his uniform. Completely calm. "We're going to walk inland from here. Send runners to bring follow-on waves to this beach. This is our beach now." Colonel James Van Fleet protested. "Sir, the entire assault plan is obsolete," Roosevelt finished. "We adapt. We advance. We win." For the next 4 hours, Roosevelt walked that beach. Under fire. With a cane from a dead soldier. Directing traffic at the world's deadliest intersection. That unit, exit 2. Engineers, clear those obstacles. Tanks, follow me. When tanks bogged down, Roosevelt walked to the tank commander. "Son, shift left. See that firm patch? Drive there." When infantry bunched up at the seawall, too terrified to move, Roosevelt walked among them. "Boys, if you stay here, you die. If you move, you might live." He stepped over the seawall. Alone. 56 years old. Cane in hand. "I'm going. Who's coming with me?" The men followed. Private Don Jones, 19, from Kansas, later said, "I saw this old man with a cane walking like he was on a Sunday stroll. Shells everywhere. And I thought, if that old guy can do it, I can do it." Roosevelt was everywhere. Directing engineers. Routing vehicles. Making instant decisions. A colonel ran up. "General, German counterattack on our left flank." Roosevelt walked to the left flank, found Sherman tanks waiting. See those Germans? Convinced them to leave. The tanks advanced. The counterattack collapsed. At 10 a.m. General Barton came ashore. He found Roosevelt eating a K-ration on an abandoned German bunker. "Ted, what happened?" "You're 2,000 yards south." Roosevelt shrugged. "Current pushed us here. So we started the war from here. It's actually better, lighter defenses." Barton stared, then laughed. "You magnificent bastard." By noon, Utah Beach was secure. By 1 p.m., American forces were pushing inland. Roosevelt kept moving forward, advanced with the lead infantry, cane in hand. At 3 p.m., they linked up with the 101st Airborne near St. Marie-du-Mont. Roosevelt found Lieutenant Dick Winters and Easy Company, the men who'd taken out German artillery at Brecourt Manor that morning. "You boys did good work," Roosevelt said, shaking Winters' hand. Winters nodded, exhausted. "Just doing our job, sir." "Keep doing it. We're heading for St. Mire-Église." "Coming?" They advanced together, led by a 56-year-old general with a cane. By evening, they'd pushed 4 miles inland, deeper than any other Allied unit on D-Day. All because Roosevelt landed in the wrong place and made it the right place. Utah Beach, fewer than 200 casualties. The lightest of all 5 beaches. Not because the Germans were weaker, but because Roosevelt's instant decision prevented disaster. If he tried to regroup, thousands would have been exposed on that beach for hours. Artillery would have found them. Instead, Roosevelt said 5 words, and saved thousands of lives. Theodore Roosevelt Jr. didn't survive the war, but not because of D-Day. July 12, 1944, 5 weeks after the landing, Roosevelt died of a heart attack in his sleep. His body had finally given out. When they found him, he was writing to his wife. The last line, "We are winning. It won't be long now." They buried him in Normandy, at the American cemetery, among the men he'd led onto Utah Beach. His son, Quentin, survived Omaha Beach. After the war, someone asked what his father was like. Quentin was quiet for a moment. "He was the bravest man I ever knew. Not because he wasn't afraid, but because he was terrified, and did it anyway." In August 1944, Roosevelt received the Medal of Honor posthumously. The citation, "for gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty." He repeatedly led groups from the beach, over the seawall, and against the enemy. His valor, courage, and presence in the very front of the attack inspired the troops to heights of enthusiasm and self-sacrifice. His son accepted the medal. June 6, 1944. Theodore Roosevelt Jr., 56 years old, heart failing, arthritis, walking with a cane. He didn't have to land with the first wave. He begged to be there. And when everything went wrong, when they landed 2,000 yards off target, he made one decision. "We'll start the war from right here." 5 words, spoken calmly, under fire. Those 5 words turned potential catastrophe into the most successful landing of D-Day. Roosevelt didn't command from offshore, didn't wait for perfect conditions, didn't hesitate. He led from the front, like his father taught him. Today at Utah Beach, there's a memorial. A bronze statue shows him with his cane, pointing inland. The inscription, "He was the bravest man I ever knew. Son of a president. General. Hero of D-Day." Proof that courage has no age limit. Next, I will be covering 23 Sons Gone, the day Bedford paid war's highest price. Comment below with your favorite part of the story, and subscribe for more stories of courage in the face of impossible odds.